Okay, we're actually going to start on the assignment first because I think that will make more sense for the other stuff. So if you would go to the assignment number 12, and we are on the second page. In order to turn it around, you want to go to the 3 lines and you can rotate it until it looks correct. Sorry, I'm telling that to the virtual students. You guys got a paper copy. There we are. Copy that. Okay, and this is the side we're going to start on. Real quickly, just to go over this, square roots. So the square root of 1 is 1, square root of 4 is 2. How do I get that? How do I know that? Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 16 is 4.
4 times 4 equals 16. 5 times 5 equals 25. 6 times 6.
So it's only going to be...
It's the number multiplied by itself.
Yes, it's the number multiplied by itself. So, for example, what's 10 times 10? 100. So the square root of 100 is going to be 10. You guys kind of remember this?
Yeah.
From the beginning? Okay, so 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, and so forth. So these are called perfect square roots because it's a perfect whole number. The ones on our paper are not perfect. Okay, the ones on our paper we need to approximate. So we're going to look at A first, and it says it's the square root of 27. So which 2 is it in between? Square root of 27. Which 2 is it in between?
5.
Where would 27 go? Would square root of 27 go right here?
It'd be between the square root of 27 square root of 36.
In between the square root of 25. So in between the square root of 25 and the square root of 36. And the square root of 25 is what? 5. And the square root of 36 is? 6. Good.
Are we gonna go based off? Oh wait.
So square root of 27, would that be closer to the 5 or closer to the 6? Or right in the middle? Okay, why is it closer to the 5?
Because 1, 2 for if you're counting down, it would be 2 spaces, and then for 27, 36, it would be way more. So.
Yeah. So to go from 27 to 25, that's only 2 away. Where here, what is it? 9 away from 6. Does that make sense or no? 27 is closer to 25 than it is to 36. So our number is going to be approximately 5 points. Would we put 5.5? Is it right in the middle? No. 27 is not in the middle of these two numbers. We just said it was closer to the 5. So what do we think? 5.2? Good. I would say 5.1 or 5.2. Okay. Let's look at square root of 12. Which 2 is it going to be in between? Which 2 square roots? Square root of what and what? In between square root of 9 and the square root of 16. Perfect. Square root of 9 is actually 3, and the square root of 16 is actually 4. So it's in between 3 and 4. Is it closer to the 9 or to the 16? So here's what I'm trying to say. So if we have square root 9, then we'd have square root 10, we'd have square root 11, square root 12, square root 13, square root 14, square root 15, square root 16. So this is 4. This is 3. This is where we're at. So which one is it closer to? Kind of closer to the 3, right? But it's kind of in the middle. We see that? So what do we want to say this one is? 3.5? You're saying no? I could go with 3.5. I think 3.4, 3.5, or 3. I don't know if I'd go 3.6. 3.4 or 3.5 would be good. So let's just go 3.5. We could always check it into the calculator, but I want you guys to mentally be able to think of this. So square root 12 is about 3.46, which if we round that, it would be 3.5. So I think that's pretty good. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at C, letter C. Square root of 126. So which 2 is it in between? Go ahead and put it on your paper. Which 2 is it in between? Have them listed up there. Jocelyn, which 2 did you say this one's in between?
Square root of 121 and square root of 144.
Square root of 121 and square root of 144. Good. Which this is 11 and this is 12. So it's somewhere in between 11 and 12. Which one is it closer to? 11. Good. It's closer to the 11. What do we want to say it is? 11.3. Well, you said 2 and you said 4, so let's just go right in the middle and say 11.3. Okay. Again, it's estimating, it's approximating. You don't have to be perfect. As long as if you were to put 11.9, that would be incorrect. Okay. Questions about this? Okay, so then the next part of this is you'd go down here and we have a number line. And the letter A we said is about 5.2. So down here, we'd go and make a little line here and write A. Because A would be about 5.2, so it'd be closer to the 5. B is we said is 3.5, so we put it probably in the middle and write the letter B. Okay. C is 11.3, so we make a little line, write C. And you'd go through and approximate all of those. So you might want to get a list of perfect square roots. So to help you out, list of perfect square roots. It's mostly for my virtual students. So you could pull up a list of them. I don't know why my computer's taking forever. And we'll continue on. Let me add a few more up here for you guys because some of these get rather large. 196, 14, this is going to be 225. 256. That'll be fine. Oh wait, no, it's not. There we are. Okay, so continue on. Here's what a list of perfect square roots would look like. So it will help you approximate. So the next part, we're going to go to the notes, which looks like this. We're not going to do this first part. And we'll just move to the second page. So kind of just reworking this whole lesson. Okay, so if you would, even if you're not finished, open up your Chromebook. We're going to the notes. Going to the notes. So this is Pythagorean theorem. You guys remember that word?
Yeah.
No? Oh my, okay. So, like I said, we're going to go over it. Pythagorean theorem is, this is the theorem that we're talking about. This is the formula. A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
So it's gonna be like, for example, like, okay, for the first one.
No, we'll go over it, okay? Just explain it, just because we're running short on time. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. The only one that matters which one it is the C. So it's a way that we can use a right triangle to find missing length. So for example, we have this right triangle. I know it's a right triangle because of the right angle. Okay, and we need to find this third side length, and we can find it using Pythagorean theorem. Okay, and the C squared, the C part of it, we need to label each side length with A, B, and C. C is the only one that matters, and the one that is going to be our C is the one that is across from the 90-degree angle. So you see how it is pointing to the 9? This is our C. Okay, so that's our C. In this problem number 2, what is our C? It'd be the missing one. This is our C. Good. Go ahead and label the C's on 3 and 4. Which ones are the C's on 3 and 4? Okay, so did we pick 14 for 3? And then for 4, it would be the question mark. Okay, so once we have that all set up, let's go back to number 1. I told you the A and the B doesn't matter, so we can say this is A and we can say this is B. Okay. Now we need to use our theorem, the A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So what is our A here? 5. So instead of A, we are now going to have 5 squared plus B squared, we're just going to leave as B squared, equals, what's our C here? 9. Okay, so you should have this. Notice I just plugged it in. So for A, said it was 5, so I just plugged it in here. For B, we're just going to leave it as B. And then for C, it was 9, so I just plugged it in. Okay, so this is my A, B, C. Now we're ready to solve it. Okay. What's 5 times 5? 25, good, plus, I'm just going to leave it as B squared, equals, what's 9 times 9? 81, good. Now I'm trying to get this B by itself, so what can I do with this 25? Perfect, you guys, subtract 25 on both sides. Those are going to cancel out. I'm going to be left with B squared equals 56. Good. Now, notice it says B squared equals 56. I want to know what B equals. So, what is the opposite of squaring something? What was that? Square root. So the opposite of squaring something is to take the square root. So we'll need to take the square root of both sides. The square root will cancel out the squared, so you'll be left with B equals square root 56. Okay. But let's not leave our answer as square root 56. I want to approximate it. So 56 is going to be in between which two numbers?
7 and 8.
7 and 8. Good. Which one is it closer to?
It's either 7.4 or 7.5.
Okay. Which one do we want to go with?
7.5.
7.5?
It's
Okay.
only one off.
So it's about 7.5. So then you would round it like we were doing at the beginning. That's our final answer. Let's look at another one. Number 2. So again, let's just have this as our A, this is our B. So we'll have to do A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Not quite, it's a square root of that.
Maybe.
Square root of that.
Oh, so it would be. It'd be that, okay? I have to find the answer.
So what's 3 times 3?
9.
9 plus what's 11 times 11? 121 equals C squared. What's 9 plus 121? 130 equals C squared. Is that our final answer? No, what do we got to do? Yep, square root. Square root. And we have to approximate. So C equals the square root of 130. Well, the square root of 130 is in between which two numbers? 11 and 12. Good. So it's 11 point what?
3.
3 or 4 is that what you said? Okay, let's just go with 3. So this side length right here is about 11.3. Okay. Okay, for time's sake, let's go back onto the worksheet instead of this paper if you have 1 and 2 finished.